This is a weekly Forex analysis from 13th to 17th of April 2020. Hey, what's up traders, welcome back to Forex Gym. My name is George and in this video I'm going to be analyzing 5 currency pairs coming up. But before we do that, make sure to hit the subscribe, like and share. I'm making live daily Forex analysis Monday to Friday, as well as weekly Forex analysis and the videos about the knowledge you need to be a better trader. Now let's jump into the screens. And we're starting with the US dollar against Canadian dollar from the monthly time frame. For the last month, we have seen that the price came up to these highs, these monthly highs, but it failed to take out this spike high here, and we have seen that aggressive reaction towards down. And for the last month, this candle closed as pretty much halfway left this wick, and we had this half wick of the full candle. And then since then it's pretty much continues to, we had this little blip up here, but then it's continues to fall. If we go to a lower time frames, let's have a look at the weekly time frames. We can see that on this weekly chart, this weekly candle looks nice, strong and bearish candle, so I do like the look of that. And if we go to the daily time frames, we're gonna see that on the daily time frame. So the price came down, had the reaction down here. I think was a weekly or monthly low. I can't remember. One of the lows. It has a reaction here, and then we had this reaction up, and then the price came all the way down and made this kind of sort of double bottom. And now it's kind of hovering around this zone. It's very close to this this spike low here, which I'm waiting for the price to take out this and break of this spike low. It hasn't done it yet. It's just hovering around. It's putting these indecision candles in here, but I do want to see the price breaking this low before committing to the short side. So as I said, I want to see the price came down and break of this low and close as well. I want to see a decent close. I don't want to see any spikes like for example this candle here. I don't want to see that spike and then all the way if it makes just this wick here and then closes just above, then that will not count as. So I want to see a nice close, and then I want to see a bit of a retracement towards upside. So I will be looking around getting onto the zone, which is pretty much around the same at 139.50 or 139.30, around that 20 pip zone, to give it about 20 pip margin in here. Then I will be looking to short the trade. So as of the targets are concerned, we need to go to the weekly time frame, and let's have a look. For the weekly time frame, I want to see the price for the first target. I will be looking to take it off at 136.50. That will be the first target. We have this high here, so that should act as a decent support. But if the price comes down that low, it might want to even break of these highs here, that support area. So I think it should manage to do that, and that's why that will be the first targets, which we're gonna do either like take half of the profit off, just half, or depending on your size, you can take half of the profit or 1/3, depend if your brokerage allows, and so also depends how big is your site. So you can do that, and then rest of them we can run it even further down, and that further down is gonna be more like down to this area here at 135.30. So we're looking another 100 pips down here. So this is these two targets. The first one here at 136.30 zone, and the another one will be further down. So as of the stop loss are concerned, let's jump into the daily time frame, and then we can analyze from that. So for the stop loss, if we get on to let's just call it at 39. I do believe there was a weekly high here. That's the one I want to target. Let me just have a look at the weekly time frames quickly to be sure. Yeah, this is the weekly. We can see that weekly high here. We have this where the price is at the moment. So we have this weekly high here. So I think I will be targeting that one. That one for the entry, which is 139. Call it 139.50. So that will be the entry. We'll be looking at about 50 to 60 pip stop loss on that. Will be the level is gonna be just about 10 pips higher than this high here. So 60 pip stop, and we have the two targets which you can take half of, or and have the remaining half to the run towards to the second target. We continue with the US dollar against Japanese yen from the monthly time frame. So we can see that the price for the last month, we have this spinning top candle, looks pretty ugly, and also the month before and month before that, it doesn't look very good. And we also have this trend line here, this monthly trend line, which price is respecting it pretty well. It has a few attempts to break it, but it has failed all of them. So if we go to a weekly time frame. For the weekly time frame, the price for the last 2 weeks ago, the price came down. We had this nice bearish candle, and for the last week, we had this very bit of this candle here. We have this bullish, but doesn't look very strong. And also for the for this week, price put this doji candle, which looks even worse than the week before one. So I do wait for this one actually to have a more follow through towards a downside. And if we go to a weekly time daily time frames, then we're gonna see where we are. What am I looking for in here? So we see the price came down here and failed to take out which one was it, which lows. So it did fail to take out this low here. It has not taken out this low, so there might be orders down here. So I do want to see the price have a bit more confirmation. I want to see the price coming down a bit more, at the very minimum, to take out this low here. Then there's the two potential scenarios. So either the price comes down and takes out this one, and it will have a mild retracement, or price comes down here and takes out these lows. And I don't want to see a mild retracement. I don't want to see anything aggressive towards upside. Then if it does that, then I will be just taking a step back and wait a bit, see how the price going to behave. So I want to see mild reactions if we got the two scenarios and also two potential entries. So if the price comes down and takes out this low down here, then I will be looking for the retracement about, so let's say the price came down at 107.70 area, and for the retracement I will be looking around here, return to 108, about 108.05 zone. For this one, the stop loss is gonna be about 50 pips. We're placing it about 108.55 or 60, so we'll be just will be above these two highs. So we'll be looking about 50 or 55 pip stop loss. However, if the price continues to come down and take out this low down here, and note that I want to see the price coming down and like not taking out these this low here. Let me bring up a pen. So I want to see something to come down about down here that is noticeably that the price came out and take out this low. I don't want to see anything like kind of something like this, or it got pretty close and you don't really see that the price managed to break this or take out this low or not. So I want to see something noticeable. Ideally the price comes down at about 108.55 zone, which is around this area. Then I will be looking for the retracement, which is about for the retracement, let's have a look. For the retracement, I will be looking for about to get onto this 107.80 zone. We have a quite a bit of resistance in there. I mean, obviously, if the price comes down, there will be turning to a resistance. For this one, we have quite a bit of price action going on here, so it should act as a resistance. We have these lows here as well, so it will be a good area to get onto the short side. So that will be the short side play, and for the stop loss on that one, let's say we go on to at 107.80 area. For the stop loss on that one, we would be looking. So we're looking around to 80, 50 to 60 pips on that. Let's see if the I would say about 60 pips. You do need at least a 60 pip stop loss on that one. It is higher than it goes above these. Oops, let me get rid of that. So it goes above this spike high, but if the price continues to edge higher, and we might need to get onto and give it another try. But for now, we do give it a 50 or 60 pip stops. And for the targets, let's discuss the targets now. So for this, let's have a look at the weekly time frames. Let's use the weekly time frames for the target. So depending where you get on is that 10800, 10805, or 10780. It's only about 20 or 30 pip difference, so it's not a major one. So for the target, we would be looking. So this is too close. Let's see what we have in here. Okay, this one is pretty good. So 106 down to this weekly lows, maybe even down here. Let's see. So 106.30, that should be is a good area to target. We have so much, there's quite a lot of price action here on these. So we have this low, we have a lot of cluster of open and closes here. We have this spike, and we have also this low here. We continue with the euro against US dollar, starting with the monthly time frames first. So we see that the big trend is towards downside, and for the last months we have left this with this spinning top candle. So let's go to the weekly time frames, and let's have a look at the weekly time frames. For now, we see that 2 weeks ago we had this nice bullish candle here. Excuse my drawing. Nice bullish candle. This green up candle is looking nice and strong, but for the last week we had this bearish candle, which also looking nice and strong. So that means that all the gains, it gave it all back by looking at this bearish candle. And for this week we had this not very strong bullish candle, so it does not show me that it has much of the strength. So I'm actually expecting for this one to go and have a follow through towards downside. So for now, what I'm looking at, I want to see for this to have a bit more follow through towards upside at the level. I did look at the levels, so I want to see a bit more push towards upside. It's about let's have a look. It's around this area, about these highs here, which was at 109.80, around 109.85. I want to see a bit more push, so it's about 50 pips higher. So if we go to the daily time frames, we have these resistance up here, 109.85, around that zone. We have these, oops, it has changed without my notice. So we have this low zone here, and we have also this cluster of price action here. So we have a decent resistance. So I think the price will find a resistance here before probably continuing towards downside. So I'll be looking to short if the price comes up at 109.80 zone. So it needs another 50 pip push. So another maybe in 2 candles. So with 2 candles means about 2 more days. Ideally, I don't want to see any strong movement towards upside, something like this bullish candle here. I don't want to see much of like that, so ideally it will come up in 2 days, which the candle is not going to be as strong. So I don't want to see that. So ideally in 2 days, then I will be looking to short it at 109.80 zone towards downside. So let's have a look at the for the stop losses and for. Oops, okay, now it's not doing it. Yeah, this is a hotkey, but yeah. So again, let's have a look at these. If we get onto 109.80, just for simplicity, I'm using this number, but of course it can differ. So 109.80, we would be looking about 35 to 40 pips you can get away with. You can place the this stop will be above this, well above this, and also quite higher than that. So stop's going to be around this zone, which is pretty decent. 35 to 40 pips you can get away with. And for the targets, I don't have a second entry on this one. I only see this potential, and if the price continues to go, depends how it's going to come up. This can be a potential as well, but I need to reanalyze if the price comes up that high. Yeah, that will be too high. So for now, we're gonna concentrate on this level here, 109.85 zone. And for the targets, we will be looking. Let's have a look at the weekly time frames. See what we have for the targets. So these are been tested already. So it will be down to these lows, these weekly lows here, this weekly close at 0700. Are we targeting the area at 0700? Oops, actually, let me see. There is another. This one being tested, so it shouldn't create a problem. 107, yeah, 10700, that will be the target down here. And if we take the so we'll be looking at about 200 to just over 200 pips, which gives us a good risk reward. If we take a 40 pip stop loss, then that will give us a very good risk reward. So the entry was at what was the entry I said earlier? 109.80. So 109.80, and if we're gonna run it at 10700, yeah, we're looking 280 pips. Next currency, we got British pounds against US dollar or cable. So starting with a monthly time frame first. For the last month, this currency made a fresh new low at nearly at 114.20 area, but since we can see that it already recovered most of its loss. So if we have a look at the shorter time frames, drill down to the weekly time frame, we have this nice strong weekly bullish candle, and now the price is kind of all over the place. For the last week, it came down, had this kind of retracement in a way, and then for this week the price made all the way back up, and now it's kind of stalled in here. We have this high, find resistance here, and if we go to the daily time frame, we can have a clearer picture. So the price kind of stalling in here. It's looking what it's gonna do, and that's why I'm waiting. I want to see what the price wants to do at the moment, because it's it can go either up or it can also start continuing to drop. So that's the thing. This currency is more like in sit back and wait and observe. For the next maybe day or two, see what this currency is gonna do. So I want to see a break of these high. I want to see the price break of also we got these highs here, so I want to see the price breaking and continuing to edge higher. Then I will be looking to get onto the long side. So I want to see the first break of these highs and then a retracement, either one of the depending how far the price gonna go. and then I would be looking for the retracement. Ideally, the price comes up at the very minimum to test this highs here, and I want to see a mild reaction. So if the price comes up at 125.70 zone and closes strong, I want to see a close nice bullish strong candle. Then I will be looking for the mild retracement towards downsides. Most likely gonna be on these lows down here. We have this low here, so around no, actually this low here. So we have this low here, so I will be looking for the retracement about these lows or one of these highs, depending how far the price gonna retrace. I don't want to discuss the entries and exit because this is kind of still developing this currency. I don't see other city potential entries, but it's not very clear, so I don't want to just mislead anyone. So this is more like a developing yet for the swing trading. And lastly, we got New Zealand dollar against US dollar. Starting with the monthly time frames first, we can see that for the last month the price came down at just below the 5500 area, but then it has gained most of what it lost, and we have this close, we have this wick on this last month candle, and then for this month the price is starting edging higher. I know it's about 2 weeks in, but the price is kind of looking that it's going to edge higher. So if we go to the weekly time frames, we're going to have a bit more clearer picture. We see that for the 2 weeks ago we have this nice bullish candle, this green candle here, this candle here, and for the last week we had a bit of a pullback down, and then the price for this week the price closed nicely bullish. So I do like this close of this candle, and if we go to the daily time frame we're gonna get even a clearer picture. So for this daily time frame, for the Thursday candle, it looking nice bullish. For the Thursday daily candle, looking nicely strong. It has also broken these highs, also take out the spike high here, and it closed fairly decently. I know that the Friday candle we closed as doji, but just purely on the I can't base my analysis just purely on the one candle. Like for instance, when I know a lot of traders, when they see that doji or harami candle, any like a reversal type of candle, they already putting the orders to for the opposite direction, but you can't really base your analysis purely on one thing. Like in this case, that will be just the this doji candle. You can't just base this on this that price gonna turn around just because they put the doji candle. So it will be too simple. Market is not that simple. So you have to combine that with the other evidence that like 2 or 3 evidence. Like let's say if it's a doji here and maybe some significant high, let's say if the price would have closed in here without this candle, this Thursday bullish candle, then that will be even stronger. And if it was closed here and I put this doji candle, that will be stronger. Than I might think was like, okay, maybe price wants to turn around, but because we had this Thursday bullish candle, and after that you put this doji, then it's not as strong. Of course, it doesn't mean that it's not going to turn around. The price can do anything. We can just analyze and see what's going to perform and place our orders and see if we're gonna be right or not. But for now, I can't really base this one just for the doji. In a matter of fact, I'm looking for more of a long side than short side play. And for now, I'm waiting for the price to retrace down to this zone here, where we got these highs, and also we have this open and close here. So I'm waiting for the price to retrace down here, but I do not want to see anything. Any strength towards short side, so I don't want to see any candle like this, any strong which demonstrates strength towards downside. So I want to see something like weak candles. Ideally we'll do that one in maybe 2 days, then I will be looking to go to the long side. so it's going to class as a retracement. So then I will be looking to the long side place towards most likely, let's analyze for the targets. Because the bigger trend is towards downside, I do not want to hold it for too long, because it might be just bigger retracement for the big trends. We see that on the monthly time frame. We have these yeah, the trend is clearly towards downside. I know it made this significant low down here, but there's this chance that the price can join the big trend and continue fall towards down to, probably even down to here, because we have this low, and it came not very close, but it's close enough, so price might want to continue down to these monthly lows down here, but that's a bit early to say, of course. But for now, there's a potential for this one to have a decent, at least a decent retracement. So for the target, I will be looking something like up to these lows here, about 62.55 area. So we'll be looking about 150 pips, 80, no, roughly about 200 pips. So that's a decent amount of pips to get it out of it. And for the, let's look at the entry. We said that it's gonna be at 60.40, and for the stop loss, we're probably gonna need about, again, 50 pips. All right, let's see, 50. I don't want, probably about 60 pip stops. We want about 60 to 70 pip stops on that one. Nothing more than 70 pips. That will be already gonna compromise the risk reward. So we're gonna keep it at above the 1 to 2.
Thank you guys for watching. This was weekly Forex analysis from 13th to 17th of April 2020. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share with your friends, and make sure to subscribe. I'm making live daily Forex analysis Monday to Friday, 8 AM UK time, as well as weekly Forex analysis and videos about the knowledge you need to be a better trader. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in my next video.